Well, a sobering report today about the outlook for the U.S. economy. The Congressional Budget Office predicts the economy will grow by just 1.5% this year, and that is far below White House forecasts. John Harwood joins us now from Washington with more details. So, John, besides that disappointing growth number, the other headline statistic that popped out was the budget deficit. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Budget deficit's going to be slightly higher, Susie, than was projected earlier this year, just over $500 billion. That's not because spending was higher than expected. It's because revenue has dropped somewhat. But the good news is that this is below 3% of GDP, which is below the 40-year historical average. So deficits are in a pretty manageable range right now. Remember, just early in the Obama administration, while the stimulus bill was being passed, it was almost 10% of GDP.
So 10% down to 3%. Does that mean mission accomplished for the Obama budget war, so to speak?
Well, in the short term, yes. But not in the long term, because what we see is over the next 10 years, as more and more baby boomers retire, go on to Social Security and Medicare, those deficits are going to go back up. They'll go back up beyond the 40-year historic average to close to 4% of GDP, and that is a difficult situation. It will make the deficit be higher, and it will make the administration at that time having a need to close that gap.
All right, and this is always such a contentious issue between the Democrats and the Republicans in Congress. What needs to be done in the long term to keep these deficits down and keep spending down?
Some combination of higher taxes, lower benefits, or both. But the one good news, Susie, is that the moderation in the rise in health care costs has continued. Right now, for the next 5 years, CBO projects that spending on Medicare will be $677 billion less over the next 5 years than they projected for those same years just a few years ago. So those things make it easier to deal with the problem. The question is, where's the political will?
Oh, yeah, and those are not popular subjects to deal with in Washington. Thank you so much, John. John Harwood reporting from Washington.